Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I said I was going to do it yesterday, but I did not. I know. But here I am finally, making some more videos from Kharak at number 11. And this, of course, is going to be a continuation of round 1 of the qualifier here. We got game between Maze, playing as the Saban, which is pretty typical, and PhantomCrash, not 4, I think it's 45. I'm not sure, though. Seems to have cut off there. But he's going to be playing as the Conef. Aha, I was right. Anyhow. This will be a pretty fun match to watch because we don't really know anything about this guy, actually. Or at least I don't. I don't think I've ever seen him play. Whoa. Sometimes the camera does weird things. Also, do you notice there's like a line there? Do you see that too? Huh. Anyway, so I got a little sidetracked there, but yeah, this is a player who we haven't really seen anything from, or at least I haven't. So I've got no idea, that means, how he's going to play, and that's always pretty exciting to watch. Just see what happens here. Looks like he's going to be going for Sandskimmer Fabrication after filling out the main. Blast Drone's getting produced as well, but the base runner's going to stick back at home. And as for Maze, let's see. Interesting carrier acrobatics right there, but he's going for LAV fabrication fairly early, and I can tell he just queued them up. No, that was Phantom Crash King, though. Sorry, because the resources dropped down. Maze may be going Sport Cruiser first. No, it doesn't look like it based on the CUs. Yeah, and he's going to be making more salvagers, actually. So he's going actually pretty heavy into the eco right here. Production Cruiser finds the probe, gets about 60 HP off of that one. That's pretty handy there. Always nice if you can damage your opponent's probes. Even better if you can kill him. But that probe did see what he wanted to see, which is, okay, he is out in the middle of the field with a production cruiser, a couple of sand skimmers. Now he's gonna, now he's gonna hope to find the base runner. That has actually been retired. And this could maybe trip him up a bit if he sees the blast drones but doesn't manage to find the base runner anywhere. Because that's not very typical, is it, to make 2 blast drones and then retire the thing. But this seems to be some kind of a build that Phantom Crash is planning. Now he's going up into railgun fabrication and very low carryover of resources there, so it looks like that was definitely planned. Going to be 2 blast drones also out in the area, and they've managed to evade this probe kind of stunningly well. And Phantom Crash going to go out and chase this base runner. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is probably a bit of a mistake. I think there's some damage he can do to the main here, and that'd probably be a little better. Ooh, okay. I think that would definitely have triggered the vision, you know, like the red thing. I don't know what to call it. You know how like there's a little blip. Yeah, there you go, the blip on your radar, like before you've actually seen something, you get a little warning that he's there. So I mean, Maze knows that something is over here, and if you're playing against Conef in the early game, here's a tip, my friends: something is always important to investigate, but it doesn't look like Maze has sent his probe over there, so either he doesn't quite realize the gravity of that situation, or he already knows what it is. Maze also gonna pop down a targeting jam right here. I'm not sure if I really like that, just because, like, yeah, you buy a little bit more time, but I don't think it's worth. I think it's like 150 CUs actually. It's pretty steep. Valiant of him to take this artifact here. That's definitely what he would want to do if that thing was going to die anyway. Probe gets sniped, by the way. But, you know, yeah, his opponent did actually salvage the base runner, so that's not going to make a huge difference. Railgun fabrication is finished, but they're only just now starting to get produced here. So this one AAV could be kind of annoying, but this many sandskims will kill it without taking too many losses. Then again, armor 1's already finished here, so it would actually take quite a long time. And these 2 guys here just biding their time, and I think this is what you kind of have to do against Saban, find like the perfect opener, because these ALMs are just going to be so annoying to deal with. But and in fact, I honestly, against Saban, I don't think I would recommend trying to use these against the eco, unless you're doing the unspeakable build, but we don't speak of it, so you know that's clearly not the case, right? Sandskimmer is very clumped here, so they're going to be extra hindered by these ALMs here. But they are going to find 1 salvager, which is a nice pickup right there. 1 AAV going to go down here too, but I think this production cruiser is actually in danger. I didn't quite foresee that happening. Of course, AAVs are actually faster than production cruisers, right? And by the way, you got to target this damage. Okay, no, it looks like you got him from behind. That's actually fine. I think he'll get away, but that was a little close for comfort. Some smoke could be used from Maze there too to like block off the guy who's behind. Yeah, the Sandscammer's having a little bit of difficulty over there just because of the ALMs, and there are, of course, also AAVs out in the field. And this production cruiser getting very low now. You gotta target the damaged one, man. Ooh, This is, yeah, okay. I think it's gonna go down, although I don't know. I don't even care what's happening elsewhere on the map. This is much more important. It goes down. All right, so that's the rush definitely neutralized, to say the least. And these assault railguns can be annoying. That's definitely true. But they really can't get that value that Phantom Crash was looking for with a rush build like this. Refiner mode even coming out. Oh, that's bitter because, of course, Production Cruiser is dead now. It's not going to be able to, you know, be a resource drop off point at all. That's pretty rough. And that was very close, too. I mean, he's going to be like, oh, you're kidding me, right? Remember that happened to me with against Catharsis? I was, like, so mad. I think that was Kharak Cup 7 or 8 or something? Can't quite remember. Yeah, I think it was 7. I think it was 7. Well, Production Cruise is on its way here now. But Phantom Crash doing what he can with these assault railguns, and I really quite appreciate that. ALMs are not cheap. Let's put it that way. 250, yeah? Yeah, 250. Oh, and they cost 5 fleet capacity. Oh wait, this says seconds. I can't even make jokes properly, my friends. Railguns are coming out now for Maze, but unfortunately they're right on top of these assault railguns, so they're going to get smitten somewhat. And by that I mean, you know, the assault railguns are going to trade effectively, but not necessarily that they're going to, like, kill them all and then keep on the attack. As you can see, there's only 2 of them left. If they stayed around any longer, I'm pretty sure they would just get killed off. And I imagine Maze is building more than that, although he's actually moved his carrier off the resources there, so he's going to be pretty low eco for a time at least. I mean, he's clearly got to get a support cruiser up right as fast as he can. And I would say right now he can back away. I mean, you know where the army is, more or less. So your carrier can get back doing the eco. But yeah, second production cruiser already on the way now for Phantom Crash, so he's rebuilt the one. And I think Maze killing a production cruiser definitely has, like, a window there, right? But he's being rather slow on the response, you know what I mean? I feel like you gotta rebound from this kind of stuff really quickly. This might be problems for him. Something just honor guard cruisers, right? Oh boy, I'd really like to see that. That's always a fun unit to see. And then if I were Phantom Crash here, I'd actually move the carrier out. That's generally what we do on the shallows, especially. But just on most maps, you usually don't want to have the carrier like on the main because it's actually not the one usually that's going to get attacked first. I'm actually not the best example of that. You may have noticed in my games that's often a problem, is that like my second will be attacked or something. My carrier's back on the main. It's not really doing anything for me there. Anyway, pretty good fight being taken here by Maze, although he does need to be careful with this AAV. Doesn't get a little too zealous, but yeah, obviously just having even one railgun there going to do a lot for you. And for some reason, assault railguns give veterancy like a lot quickly. It's unreasonably fast, like how much veterancy they give. So this guy's already. The ignorance of Bozo Cow begins to show. Officer? That's what OFC stands for? Huh. I guess that makes sense, but I feel so ignorant. Anyway. One thing I'll definitely say here. First off, Mag Accelerator, what are you talking about? You've only got one of these guys. So I think that's definitely a mistake. And then Missile Battery Fabrication is coming out. No signs of air, though, really, from your opponent. In fact, your opponent got anti-air, although you couldn't have known that. You need to get your economy going, like, fast, you know what I mean? When you repel a rush, it's always a little tempting, actually, to go too far into the eco, and it's something you'll see me do often and kind of get killed by it. But, definitely this is, like, the flip side of that coin, and it's also not good, is when you don't focus on your eco. That Sport Cruiser just now coming out. Mag Accelerator's finished, not going to do anything for him at all. And he's falling very far behind at this point, I would say. Although there's no units really on the field yet, you know, you just look at the money. And the income here, I think, is like 3/2 as much for Phantom Crash too. So, and oh yeah, big drop in the CUs there. Is he making a? No, I guess not. It's 2 missile ships. I thought he was making an honor guard cruiser right there. I honestly would. I'm not sure if another production cruiser is really worth too much for you. Especially because imagine this: if you, oh hey, they're finally moving. Oh, they got spotted. Well, they tried. Okay, Maze, you know this is happening, right? Ooh, okay. That was a little closer than it should have been, but it looks like he did have that handled. And you did see he fired the mortar there. I even selected this guy, because that was my first thought. Was like, oh yeah, we'll hit him with the mortar when he's stunned. Anyhow, what was I saying? Right. If you think about this like mathematically, yeah, your opponent is probably on 2 bases and you're on 3. Let's say you move on to a 4th base. Now you're going to be on 4 and he's going to be on 3 in about the same time, right? So which one's better, 3/2 or 4/3? It's definitely 3/2, right? So it's interesting on the shallows because there's a 4th base here, but usually I would say get these guys mining, and then it's better to take the momentum and like make kind of a power play out of it than it is to try to go for that 4th base until you know that you can do that while you're attacking, right? Because if you're not slowing your opponent down at all, then whatever advantage you have off the beginning is actually going to diminish very slightly, and it is pretty slight, but it will diminish. Another production cruiser! Oh my gosh! That's fine, I guess. But I would really like to see an honor guard cruiser, especially because it really nicely counters what your opponent is doing. You don't really know that necessarily because you haven't really been scouting too much, but I'm saying you know. He, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's also just, it's not a bad blind choice either, is it? And then here's another problem, is that once you get that 4th base on the shallows, the area you need to defend goes from this to like this, so now you're going to have some problems over here if you can't hold that off. He sees though, he's going to fall back, going to try to respond here. Maybe this will also prompt him to notice that he's actually not getting RUs off of this location, which is pretty funny. But yeah, now is the time, my friend. Build it. Build it. Actually, I don't know how much it costs, but it's pretty expensive. He may not have the resources just yet. I think it's 200 RUs, right? Something like that. Let's see, and Maze is going for support cruiser anti-air. More anti-air. And again, it's not unwise to get anti-air in this game, right? Because if air comes out and you're not ready for it, you can just get destroyed, but I definitely... We know it's an overreaction because he doesn't have air. Yeah, so I mean, from our perspective, that's pretty easy to say. But even so, I think it's just, it's too much, you know what I mean? He doesn't have any tells that there's going to be air coming, and so to get this much anti-air, I think is just a little bit overkill. Aha, there it is. Honor Guard Cruiser is on the way. That is an expensive tech, I didn't quite realize that. Wow. Not that he should really get it, he's got anti-air already on the field, but Honor Guard Cruiser is on the way. These guys are actually pretty separated from the army, which is a little bit awkward. And it's quite a dangerous attack force coming up here, actually. ALM is going to spot them, so he knows exactly what the composition is too, and he might switch into Strikecraft now if he sees that. That would definitely be the right choice, wouldn't it? Some railguns that are going to smite down the assault railgun as he pops over the hill. No chance there. That's obviously just not the fight that you want to take. One assault ship going to pop up over onto this side here, and I guess he wants to make sure that this area is clear, which is pretty fortunate because it's actually not. This is tricky though. I mean, I don't really know necessarily how you would attack this position because I mean the Soban, obviously they've got those ALMs, the railgun's already on the high ground, and there's Soban rails too. Maybe the Honor Guard Cruiser is kind of like the answer here, but I don't know. That's like that's kind of a difficult position to crack right here that Maze has got. This is a good angle though. This is an angle where he's got a shot on the resourcing here, and he can't be hit by those railguns from afar. So an ALM getting deployed now to harass, but it's actually only on power 1, and I even don't think that's particularly effective anyway. And support cruiser will go down. So that's some really good damage now from Phantom Crash, and then here comes the attack from Maze, finally getting repelled here. There's a couple of heavy railguns to take it out. I think they took out 2 salvagers, but they're actually the ones that weren't harvesting at all, so... Not like that's wrong of Maze to do, but it is just, it's kind of funny. And things looking very good for Phantom Crash right now. I think another Honor Guard Cruiser, honestly, that'd be a good move. Oh, here's an idea. So now the Conf carrier can use its missiles to just kind of take down these ALMs from afar. Doesn't even need to really get close to them. This missile battery just like, hey, can we be friends? Because I forgot to bring a gun. At least I thought the carrier was gonna do that. But since he's got other ideas now. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of tickling it to death. Oh, I thought you wanted to be friends, man. Is that what friends do? Come on. Come on. Despicable. Powers are 3 now on the way for Phantom Crash. That's going to allow him to siege that base just even a little bit more effectively against another missile. Although you notice he's not really using them very much. There we go. I say as you know, as he starts firing them. Trying to hit railguns that are on that position, but of course there's nothing actually there. But yeah, this is definitely not looking good for Maze, and I'd say Phantom Crash has got it at this point. More power goes into the missile systems, so they'll be able to hit like this range here, I think, and all the ALMs eventually just have to go down, I'm pretty sure. And when you've got your opponent down onto one base like that, it's pretty easy to get a railgun majority, so. Although, interestingly, he's making assault ships, and I think maybe the idea here is that he's worried there's going to be, you know, like, strike craft counterattacking him now? I'm not totally sure, but I would just be pumping out railguns if I were him. But yeah, I mean, it's 4 bases versus 1. How long can you really expect it to go on? We know from our omnipotent position here that there's no tricks that Maze has up his sleeves either, so. You know, I've got to say, I think the reason why this game didn't go Maze's way is another one of these curious cases where, like, there's just no military on the board, and you're like, why isn't it there? And perhaps it's because of what I was mentioning earlier, how he was falling behind by, oh. We got a synchronization error. But, I mean, we know who was going to win that one, so sorry that we won't get to see the end of it, but that is that. But yeah, I think he, you know, he fell behind there in the economy after he held off the attack, because he held that off pretty well. Let me friend this guy real quick, by the way. He held that off pretty well, I thought. But, and, oh, actually, no, he held it off very well. I forgot. He took out a production cruiser, right? But then he was very slow to build up the eco off the back of it. So he should have been ahead, but instead he fell behind, not even, like, tied, so. And you can see that reflected here in the numbers. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to cast some more, so I'll catch you then.